Hi, it's Michelle again with sprouting seeds and grains and beans, part 3. And so I want to share, I already have put my buckwheat, it's sprouted as far as I want it to sprout. So this morning I rinsed it and then I drained it again on the rack for it to get some of the moisture out, because you don't want to put it in the refrigerator with a lot of water. So you want them to dry out for a little while. So I left them on the rack for maybe about 8 hours, and so now they're ready to go in the fridge. So I've just transferred them to another sterile jar, and I'll show you. You can kind of see in the jar, you can see the sprouted buckwheat seeds, and so those are ready to go in the fridge. And now I've got my alfalfa and my broccoli. The alfalfa, you can see, has already started sprouting as well, but we want this to leaf out, so it's going to be a couple more days. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, add our water, give it just a really light swirl to rinse that out, and then drain it and place it back on the rack until the morning, and we'll do the rinsing again. And so, you know, as you saw in the graphic that I added yesterday in the comments under the video from yesterday, you know, there's just a lot of different times for soaking and a lot of different times that it'll take them to actually sprout to the degree that you want them to. Because you can see the broccoli is just, the seeds are just starting to kind of pop open, just kind of hard to see there, but so they haven't even started to sprout. And then, like I had mentioned too, is when you get into sprouting, you know, it's going to be trial and error as far as, you know, if your family, you know, likes the sprouts, of course you're going to sprout more. This is just me eating these, so I've gotten it down to where I just do small amounts, and then I rotate. You know, these are going to be going into the fridge in the next few days, and so now I've got some black beans that I'm going to start with the soaking process, soak those overnight, and then start them into the rinsing, and you know, so that'll just be another stage, and then these will be ready, you know, after the stage that I just started. So, you know, kind of play with that as far as, like I said, you know, the demand with your family, who you're fixing them for, if they like them, how much you're going to use them. You'll kind of figure that out on your own. So these are just some organic black beans, and I'm going to just place them on the counter for overnight soaking. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments, and I'll be in there and answering your questions. I hope that this inspires you to add sprouting, even if you're not going to sprout your own seeds, adding them to your diet, because there is such a beneficial part to and a huge nutritional value to adding sprouts to your diet. And then again, to soak and sprout like your beans, if you have yourself or people in your family have experienced after a meal with beans or some grains, when you have that little bit of digestive discomfort, we'll call it, sometimes that is caused by the fact that the beans have not been soaked or they have not been sprouted, because, again, like I mentioned in the first video, it breaks down that protective coating that the plant, the seed, the bean, the legume naturally has to protect itself from environmental elements. So that's a nice experiment to do too, is if you've had beans that have bothered you that way, to try soaking them, try sprouting them, and then using them, and see if you're able to tolerate them a little bit better. Usually that is the case. So anyway, again, thank you so much for stopping in. I'm glad you're on this adventure with me, and I'd love to hear any of your feedback if you're deciding to do the sprouting. I'd just love to hear your experience. So anyways, take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.